Okay, this is literally the most insane news drop we've ever got for Baldur's Gate 3. There's literally so much. The Monk class has been revealed together with the Dragonborn, Half-Orc and Duergar race, the official level cap has been announced, the release date has been moved forward almost a whole month. Remember when I said it launched around the same window as Starfield? Well, yeah, not anymore. Oh, and also every class is getting a new subclass. There's new difficulty options and just so much more. So let's dive right into it, and don't forget to subscribe to stay up to date about more Baldur's Gate 3 news. Okay, so first brief, and let's start at the beginning, because I couldn't believe my eyes how much has been revealed. So let's first start with the new release date, because this is truly insane. Remember when Baldur's Gate 3 was launching on August 31? Well, yeah, Starfield then announced the early access is releasing on September 1st, and Larian Studios gladly took notice. And this is literally the best thing I could have asked for. Because now they are releasing the game on August 3 on PC, and that's almost a whole month earlier. Yeah. That just happened. But the PS5 version is a bit delayed to September 6, and the reason why the PS5 is a bit delayed is that Larian Studios is making sure Baldur's Gate 3 will run on 60 FPS on console. If they will release it on August 3rd as well, it will mean 30 FPS, and I've said so many times, Larian Studios will only release something when the quality is there. So there you go, August 3 on PC and September 6 on PS5. Oh, and while I was editing this, even more news surfaced up about Baldur's Gate 3 on the PlayStation blog. The big thing is that they now confirmed multiclassing is coming to the full game. And they also confirmed the multiple body types, which are the muscular ones, and that you even have an age slider in the game now, as well as a freckle slider. And we see that there are a total of 8 voices now instead of 4, and 3 identities to choose from. Great news, Larian. Now let's get back to the other news. Let's go to the new classes and races. As I said in the intro, the Monk class has been revealed to be playable, as well as the new Dragonborn and Half-Orc race. Now finally, all of the player handbook races and classes are playable, and that means sub-races as well. While the Half-Orc doesn't have any sub-races, there are freaking 10 sub-races for the Dragonborn. And we'll get to see more of these in action during the Panel from Hell reveal showcase on July 7. But talking about sub-races, one that was missing was a Duergar for the dwarves, meaning the dark dwarves, and Larian also confirmed they are coming to the full game as well. And by the way, all this is literally everything I asked for in my feedback videos, as well from many other feedback, but to even release the game earlier on PC is just so great. Anyway, back to the races, the Dragonborn can breathe fire or any other element you chose from your sub-race. And the Half-Orc have more damage on crits and are also not flat out killed when they die and instead drop to 1 hit point. But don't underestimate the Duergar sub-race, because they come with over 200 new dialogue responses just for them. Okay, for real, I just need a breathe because I've been literally so fucking excited by all this fucking news, man, holy shit. Anyway, back to the news. But that's not all, because like I said, every new class that gets introduced in early access will come with at least one new subclass. That is a freaking total of 46 subclasses among 12 classes. That is just insane. And the good news just keeps coming in, because one of the most requested classes was the Necromancer. And while there isn't a standalone class for the Necromancer in D&D, there is a wizard subclass for Necromancy. But the wizards have a total of 8 freaking subclasses now, including, yes, the Necromancy subclass and more Necromancy spells. You know what, I'd just rather show you instead. Here, these are all the classes and subclasses in Baldur's Gate 3, and the best thing is, there are also some subclasses coming outside of the basic rules. For example, the Ranger only has 2 subclasses, the Hunter and the Beastmaster. But in the expansions, more subclasses were added. But in the early interviews, all the basic subclasses were promised, which was already a lot. But no, they want every class to have at least 3 subclasses. So that means the Ranger just got the Gloomstalker subclass from one of the expansions called Xanathar's Guide. Same for the Sorcerer, Druid, Barbarian and Bard. They all just got subclasses from other expansions, which again is just more than they already promised. Let that sink in again, 46 different playstyles in total, just wow. But talking about classes, the Monk class, which is also very cool, has all new animations, visual and sound effects specially made for this class, inspired by classic Kung Fu cinematics. If you want to know more Monk details, I leave a link to this community update in the description and pinned comment, because there is just so much more to go over. Because as many have suspected, there is a new party member joining as well as a new playable character for the origin story, and it is none other than the tiefling barbarian called Karlach. And whoa, her updated model looks insane, and luckily enough that's all they revealed about her, which is a good thing because I love to discover her new dialogue and options in the full game, or at least with video footage during the panel from hell. But yes, for the 5th time there's more, because the final origin character will be announced during the next panel from hell. And that's not the only new thing players have expected. Because besides these origin characters that you can play yourself, there are also new party members confirmed which aren't available as origin characters. These are called companion characters, and we already knew Minsk and Boo and Jaheira were coming as companion characters to join us on our journeys. Well, I have some good news for the community, because the two very popular characters Buff Daddy Halsin and Edge Mommy Minthara are also available as companion characters. And yes, that includes romance options for almost all of them, it says. But they at least confirmed the romance option for Daddy Halsin, and I think Chubblot will be very happy to hear that. Wait, let's just ask him instead. Hey Chubblot, what do you think about that we can finally romance Daddy Halsin?
I don't think I could be much more excited, and I personally think it's amazing that we as a community have been able to band together and convince this multinational game publisher to let us ride the bear.
There you go, thanks mate. And by the way, Chubblot recorded this especially for this video, so go follow him if you haven't already. He makes very good Baldur's Gate 3 videos. Alright, back to the news, because the original plan, by the way, was to lock players in with a core crew past Act 1, meaning you can switch party members. But guess what, they nixed that plan so you'll be able to mix and match, which was a highly requested feature by the community. Incredible news, right? Well, it doesn't stop there, because originally Baldur's Gate 3 was going to have a level cap of 10. But Sven later said it was going to be higher. Now they have chosen for level 12, which is a very strong level but not godlike. And the higher level cap means also higher level spells, and they've confirmed Planner, Allies, Autos Irresistible Dance and Chain Lightning to go with it, and hell yeah, I love Chain Lightning. But those are not the only new spells that will be added in the full release, no, and listen closely now, Baldur's Gate 3 will have over 600 spells and sub-spells at launch, and that doesn't even include upcasted spells. And there's literally too much to name, so I'm just going to show them instead. Here you can see all of them, and some of my favorites include Ice Knife, Conjure Elemental, Flame Strike, Circle of Death and just so many more. And then there's also feats, and there will be a total of 37 possible feats at launch. And here's a list of the new ones, but I won't go too deep into them, but you can search the terms up on Google if you want to know more. So yeah, well that's a lot, we aren't done yet. As I said, this is the biggest news drop we've ever gotten for this game. Because what's also great is that more difficulty options and additional rules are coming to the full game at launch. There will be 3 difficulty options. First is normal mode, the mode we have now, playing how it's meant to be played. Then there's story mode for gamers who just want to focus on the story and have an easier time playing through the game. This comes with additional bonuses, like friendly NPCs are harder to kill, you know, for monsters, trader prices have 20% discount and you'll begin the game with a starting +2 proficiency bonus. Meaning everything you will do in the game is easier to do, meaning more hit chance, more damage and higher skill rolls if you are proficient with one. Last but not least there's hardcore mode. That includes stronger enemy AI, and they will prioritize squishier targets with lower armor class, go for a kill when they are able to, and many fights have special adjustments, meaning more additional supports through reinforcements, spells or consumables. That sounds very cool. At first I will definitely first explore this game on normal mode. But for my second playthrough this seems like a blast to play through. Or you know, if you're quite advanced with the game or D&D in general. And also let me know in the comments which difficulty you will play on. Whew, and the news just keeps coming in, because they also announced more info about Baldur's Gate 3 coming to Xbox. And they're optimistic about the Series X, but it needs to be compatible with the entire X and S ecosystem, and also in split screen mode without compromises. And they will update us when they have more to announce. So it sounds like everything is going great except for multiplayer on the Series S, since that's a less powerful console. So they are first going to make sure it works great without compromises, and then announce further details, but this looks like a safe confirmation that it's coming eventually, but we'll just have to wait a little longer. Then there is some additional info, because the entire script has roughly 2 million words in length. But that's not all, it will launch with 13 subtitled languages. And I'll just show them on the screen right now, because imagine rewriting a 2 million word script in 13 different languages. Larian? you just earned my biggest respect. Not just for this, but the entire news, and there's still more coming. Because we have some additional info about the Collector's Edition as well as 3 days of early access. Okay, so first off, the Collector's Edition will still launch on August 31. Now don't worry, that doesn't mean you can't play on August 3. Because Larian will send the Steam digital codes earlier by email to those who bought it. And it seems there's still an early access launch window for the full game, for those who bought the digital deluxe edition. And by the way, for everyone who bought the game during early access, you'll get this edition for free. Meaning if you buy the game now, you still get a free upgrade for the digital deluxe edition. But it still says you have a 72-hour period prior to launch, meaning 3 days of early access. Only Act 1 will be available during this release window, but this time your save file will transfer to the full game. So that means for everyone who bought early access, the game will launch even sooner, and 3 days earlier means the 30th of July. But I'm sure we'll get more info about this during the Panel from Hell release showcase. And talking about the Panel from Hell, they confirmed that they will reveal even more content on July 7 during this Panel from Hell. So that's literally next week. But now time for some fun facts about Baldur's Gate 3 that Larian shared with us. Baldur's Gate 3 has been in development for 6 years, starting with 120 people and now there are over 400. This game has more cinematic dialogue than 3 times all 3 Lord of the Rings novels combined. It has 174 hours of cinematics, making it more than twice the length of every season of Game of Thrones combined. So yeah, spoiler alert, this game is big. And I know this was already a lot, but there's still more news coming next week. So yeah, I'm incredibly happy with this news and I cannot wait what's being revealed next week, or just to see even a glimmer of things that have been announced today. But are you excited about this news? Please share all your thoughts in the comments because I'm very interested to read all of them. Oh yeah, and if you don't want to miss the news from next week, don't forget to subscribe as I will cover everything from there as well. Anyway, thank you so much for watching and I will see you next time.